everyone, it's Maura with Maura4u, and here is my question of the day. Are you prejudiced? Now, before you go there, don't. Do you know that the word prejudice means to prejudge? And that's specifically what I want to address tonight. I'd like to share with you a couple of prejudices I've had in my life. The first one being quite a familiar one, which I might have mentioned earlier. Did you know, because I grew up in the New York metro area, I always grew up with the environment that said you got to pull yourself up by the bootstraps, you got to take care of yourself. And I always imagined myself being a very independent-minded individual. I figured I'd always work, I'd always handle things in my own life. Well, that being said, I used to look at women that stayed home with their children as being mindless. Well, I got a chance to eat my own words, because after I had my own daughter, I ended up staying home and becoming what I thought was one of those mindless stay-at-home moms. And yet I have to tell you that during that time, I had sometimes as much as 4 hours a day to myself when I would wake up really, really early in the morning. And I managed to read things and learn about things that I never had opportunity in my life to learn about. I went into such obscure readings about governments and foundations and literature that most people have never even read before. So much for my thinking that most stay-at-home housewives were mindless. That was a prejudice of mine. Well, today I thought I'd just introduce you to another one. How many of you used to look at something like water aerobics and think it was just for old people? Well, I have a great story for that one too. I used to always think the same thing until about 5 years ago. I thought I would take, just on a whim, my first water aerobics class with the old people. I got into that pool, and do you know, within 5 minutes, I thought to myself, is this song ever going to end? I was exhausted. I was winded. I thought, oh my gosh. I didn't take my second water aerobics class until just a few days ago. And while I could report that I did far better than I did the first time, I need to tell you something about a lady that I was with in class today and yesterday. Her name is Fran. She's from Calabria, Italy. She came here to Florida by way of Chicago, and she still speaks with a little bit of that Italian accent. Do you know she is 89 years old? She came to class today. She had her short hair, she had a baseball cap on, and she is doing every single dance she could to Michael Jackson and to just so many other great songs. And I got finished with that class, and I started talking about another class I was going into, and she said, well, you know, I only have time for 3 classes today. She said, I have a lot of work to do. That woman was 89 years old. She is sharp as a tack. She's physically fit, and I think she happened to go home today and make macaroni sauce in between her 3 aerobics classes, 2 of which were in that pool, with me, who 5 years ago was totally out of breath. So I hope that this will give you a couple of ideas to think about in your own life. What kinds of things have you prejudged before you had an opportunity to check into them further? You might be missing out on a lot, and you might be missing out on a lot of what other people can offer to you. I hope this gives you something fun and different and a little offbeat to think about. Prejudice isn't always what you think it is. This is Maura with Maura4u. Have a great night. Bye-bye.